Very good morning students. Sairam. Welcome back to our science period. So children, this session I will start with your new chapter. Before start the lesson, I will ask one question here. Are you ready? Yes, on our earth many things are there. That things how we are divided into how many group? Very good. 2 group, isn't it? Can you say the name of that group? Yes, living and non-living. So one thing, how we can classify that is living or non-living? Yes, based on some characteristics, based on some criteria. See here, this slide I have taken 2 characteristics of living things. See here children, living thing, there is movement. Living things can move from one place to another place, but non-living thing, there is no movement. For example, here I have taken one human. Okay, human is living thing, isn't it? And here I have taken one chair. Chair cannot move, but here human can move, isn't it? Next characteristic is what? Growth. That all living things can get growth, and growth is present here, but here non-living things there is no growth. That means growth is absent. Okay, so like this many characteristics are present in living things, and that characteristic is present in, that is absent in non-living thing. Okay, so see here children, that first characteristic, which one I told? Movement. That means motion. That living things can move from one place to another place, and that example also I told that human. Okay, suppose that human is sleeping, that one person sleeps, that time can we say when we are sleeping there is no movement, isn't it? We will be on the bed. So like that, if one person is sleeping, that time can we say that person is non-living thing? Can we say? Definitely no, isn't it children? Why we can't say? If the person is not moving, then also inside of the body, which one is there? Yes, that person is continuously breathing. So inside of the body breathing is going on, isn't it children? So when that living organisms there is no movement, then also inside of the body many important process is happening. So that's why we are telling that thing is living organisms. Okay, so children, living organisms inside of the body many important process are happening. So that process only we are going to discuss in this chapter. That process name is life process. Okay children, so this is the name of our chapter, that is life process in living organisms. Understood? What is the name of our chapter? Very good. Life process in living organisms. So this life process is present in only living things, and it is absent in non-living things. Okay. So what is mean by life process? I will tell you now. Children, see here. Yes, that life process means life process are the basic functions. Life process are the basic functions performed by living organisms. So this life process means what? Life process are the basic functions performed by living organisms to survive on earth. Why these life processes are there inside of our body? To survive. Okay. So these life processes are absent in non-living things. Understood children? So can you say now what is meant by life process? Yes, life processes are the basic functions performed by living organisms to survive on earth. Some of the life process are, see here children, some of the life process I have given here. Nutrition, that means intaking of food. Next one is respiration. Transportation means movement from one place to another place. Excretion means, yes, we will study now. Okay, next one is control and coordination, growth, etc. These are the life process are present inside the living organisms. Understood now? Yes, what is meant by life process, and that name of some life process also we discussed now, isn't it children? See here, this slide again, here life process. Yes, nutrition, intaking of food. Next one is transportation, we will study now. Respiration, you know that breathing, isn't it? Respiration. Next one is excretion, reproduction, metabolism. So children, already you had studied some life process in your 8th standard, isn't it? Some more life process this session we are going to study. Understood children? Yes, see here. How do the digestive system and respiratory system work? You know very well there is digestive system and respiratory system only present in living things. So we can say this digestive system and respiratory system, these are the, yes, life process. Okay, so what will happen this, how do the digestive system and respiratory system work? So children, after the nutrition, what will happen? Yes, the food is digested. Nutrition means intaking of food. So when we are taking the food afterwards, yes, the digestion process is happening inside of the body. So that digestive system, what will happen? Yes, during the digestion, this food is digested. Isn't it, children? So that digested food, where that digested, yes, where the digestion will happen? Yes, inside of the stomach, isn't it? So this digested food and oxygen, when we are taking oxygen, yes, during breathing, that means respiration. So this digested food and oxygen, it is transported to every cell via blood throughout the body. So after the digestion, what will happen? The macromolecules of our food is converted into micromolecular substance, that is called what? Digested food. Okay, and that we are taking what? Oxygen during respiration. So each and every cell wants this yes, each and every cell of our body wants this digested food and oxygen to get the energy. Okay, so how we are sending this digested food and oxygen to yes, every cell of our body? With the help of the transportation process. Okay, so here digested food and oxygen is transported to every cell through blood throughout the body. Okay, children, so see here, next one is transportation. So transportation is one of the important life process that only this session we are going to discuss. Are you ready, children? So transportation means what? By the process of transportation, a substance either synthesized or absorbed in one part of the body reached another. So the digestion, already I told, the food digestion, it is happening inside of our stomach. So but that each and every cell wants that digested food, yes, to get energy. So that is transported from one part of our body to every cells of our body. That process is called what? Transportation. Understood, children? Yes. Shall we go to next now? So children, see here, transportation is the process that involves the movement of water and necessary nutrients to all parts of the plant for its survival. So the transportation, that is the important life process for human as well as that for animals as well as plants also. Okay, so this transportation is the process that involves the movement of water and necessary nutrients to all parts of the plant for its survival. Okay, without transportation the plant can't survive, even animal. Understood, children? Yes. See here, all the organisms need to transport water, food, minerals, oxygen to different parts of the body. That already we discussed, isn't it? So they help in the growth. Why this transportation is the important life process we are saying? Because this transportation help the growth and the respiration of the cells. Okay, the waste products also at the same time, each and every cell is getting energy with the help of the digested food and oxygen. So after the getting energy, that time what will happen? That each and every cell is producing waste part also, waste product also. So that waste products also are transported to the excretory organs for elementary from the body. Isn't it, children? So this transportation is one of the important process, important life process in animals and plants. See here, plants and animals have different organs and processes for the transportation of substances. Now we will discuss transportation of plants. Okay, children? Transportation in plants. Plants need less energy as compared to animals. Okay, here children, for transportation, plants want less amount of energy when comparing animals. Why? Can you say? Yes, that animals can move, so this one that more energy when comparing this plant. But plants, there is no movement, isn't it? There is no motion. Plant will stand in a one place only. That's why plants need less amount of energy as compared to animals. Understood, children? Next point you have to see, plants need inorganic substances like nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, yes, etc. Understood children? Yes, see here that plants need many inorganic substances. So that how plants are getting these inorganic substances? Can you think? Yes, say here, soil is the nearest and richest source of these substances. So plants are taking these inorganic substances from the soil. Understood children? From the soil. So soil is the nearest and richest source of these substances. Roots of, so that plants, how the plants are? Yes, in the soil. Yes, with the help of the root. So roots of the plants absorb these substances from the soil and transport them. So these inorganic substances are absorbed by roots from the soil. Understood children? Yes. So children, the root only will absorb this all inorganic substances from the soil, isn't it? It is not like that only root want that inorganic substances, that the whole plant wants yes, that inorganic substances. So from the root it will transport from one cell to another cell. Understood children? From the root it will go to stem, from the stem it will go to the leaf. So see here, specific type of tissues to perform transport function in plants. So the name of the specific tissue, that is xylem and phloem. Xylem will conduct water and phloem will transport food. Okay. So children, that water is transported with the help of xylem and food is transported with the help of phloem. So all parts of the plant are connected with these conducting tissues. So children, can you say the name of conducting tissues in the plants? Yes, xylem and phloem. Okay. Shall I go to next? Now we will discuss about transportation of water in plants. How the water is transported in plants. See here children, here this figure shows how that water is transported from roots to all parts of that body. At the same time that leaves, here only photosynthesis is happening, isn't it? Because here chlorophyll is present. So when the sunlight is here falls on that leaf, that time which one is produced? Food. That means carbohydrate. That food is transported from leaves to yes, all parts of the body with the help of phloem. Okay children, see here next one is root pressure. What is meant by root pressure? Root cells are in contact with water and minerals in the soil. You know very well, with the help of root only that plants are in the soil, isn't it children? Yes, so the root cells are in contact with water and minerals in the soil. So that water and minerals enter to the cells of the root surface due to the differences in concentration. So that because of this differences in concentration, this water and minerals enter from soil to the root surface, to the cells of the root surface. So as a result, these cells become yes, big in size, that is called what? Turgid. Understood children? Yes. So that when that water and minerals enter from the soil to the roots, that time the cells are in big size, isn't it? That is called what? Turgid. Understood children? Yes. Next one is these turgid cells exert, that means apply. When that big in size, the cells are in big in size, that cell will apply pressure to the neighboring cells, isn't it children? Yes, see here, these turgid cells exert pressure on the adjacent cells. So this is called root pressure. Understood what is meant by root pressure? Yes, when the water and minerals will enter from the soil to the root cells are in big size. That is called what? Turgid cells. So when that is turgid, that time it will apply the pressure to the adjacent cells. So that pressure is called what? Root pressure. I hope you understood now. Yes. See here, next point I will explain. Because of the effect of this pressure, water and minerals reach the xylem of the roots, which are continuously pushed forward so as to reduce the difference in concentration. So children, because of this root pressure, that water and minerals will reach from one cell to another cell, so that adjacent cells. Okay, so like this water and minerals finally it will reach to this xylem. Understood children? Yes. See here, this continuous movement also result in the formation of water column that is continuously pushed ahead. See here, this continuous movement. So with the help of the root pressure, this water and minerals will move from one cell to another cell. So result in the formation of water column that is continuously pushed ahead. Understood, children? So this is enough pressure to lift the water up in shrubs, small plants and small trees. So like this way, with the help of this root pressure, these shrub means you know that small tree. Okay, that small plants and small trees are getting enough amount of water with the help of root pressure. Understood, children? So this session what we studied, can you recall? Yes. So children, this session we discussed about life process. What are the name of the life process and why it is necessary? Isn't it? Next one is what we studied. Yes, transportation. What is meant by transportation? That means it will move from one place to another place. Now this session what we studied, transportation in plants. That means that how the water will transport from roots to all parts of the body. And the next one what we discussed, yes, root pressure. With the help of the root pressure only, that is that small plants, trees and shrubs are getting water. Understood, children? So I hope you understood the session. Yes, thank you, children. Sai Ram.